If you could please tell us your name and your grade.
My name is Serena, and I'm in 10th grade.
All right. Proceed.
If I may, was the pretrial motion won or lost?
Assume that all the evidence is in play.
Okay. Adrian Vega, a bright, promising athlete whose ambition and fear of the consequences caused her to commit an awful act, which has resulted in destroying the career of one of Hidden Valley's most passionate bicyclists. Your Honor, members of the jury, the facts are clear. On April 19th, 2012, Adrian Vega was driving a black Bueller car when she hit Cameron Douglas. Ms. Vega did not stop to offer assistance, even though she knew someone had been hurt, and the hit caused permanent injury. The defense has tried to convince you that that night was full of far-fetched incidents, but the evidence has proved otherwise beyond a reasonable doubt. 3 separate witnesses have shown that it was Adrian Vega who was driving. Tony DeLuca, teammate and friend of the defendant, was sitting in the passenger seat when the crash occurred. Tony shared how Adrian, so excited at being approached by her dream school, could not stop texting while driving. Quinn Liu accurately identified both the car's license plate and the bicyclist, and Mr. Liu's keen eyes also caught a glimpse of the driver. A driver who was wearing a white t-shirt and a cardinaled and gold baseball hat. Adrian Vega herself testified that she was wearing a white t-shirt that night and a cardinaled and gold baseball hat. Quinn Liu also saw the glow of a cell phone from the car. Tony's phone was dead. The victim of the incident, Cameron Douglas, shared how he thought the driver was none other than Adrian Vega. There is only one answer to all these testimonies. The defendant was driving that night. It has also been clearly stated that the defendant knew someone had been hurt. Adrian Vega ran a stop sign, which is a traffic law violation and increases the chance of injury to passerby or bicyclists. However, it had been a dark night. Most of the street lamps on Skyline Drive were broken. It was probably hard to see. But Cameron Douglas was wearing a working, fully functional headlamp that cast a bright glow. The light would have been impossible to miss, even if the person in question was texting while driving. The defendant would also have been made aware by Quinn Liu, who loudly shouted out a warning. And finally, the impact itself. It was so jarring that Tony DeLuca, who had stopped paying attention to her surroundings, became worried something had been hit. When Adrian Vega spoke to Officer Wright, she said, "It was a bicyclist?" Miss Vega knew something had been hit. She had seen the headlamp, heard the cry, and felt the crash. And yet, she still didn't go back and check, because admitting the truth could cost her the chance to go to her dream college, and she did not want to take that chance. The defense has presented a case whose facts are highly improbable and just don't line up. The defense claims that it was Tony and not the defendant who was driving the Bueller. They say that for the first time ever, despite her father's instructions never to let anyone else handle the car, Adrian let Tony drive because she was too excited. And when she got home, Adrian Vega went for a walk. A walk because she had mysteriously lost her keys, which she had been in possession of mere minutes before. Your Honor, someone in this case is clearly lying. Adrian Vega was the only person allowed to drive the black Bueller. Adrian Vega's shirt and hat was an exact match to the driver's. Adrian Vega was the only person in the car with her cell phone on. Adrian Vega had been contacted by a scout, and the card was under the driver's seat. Yes, someone in this case is lying, but it is not Tony DeLuca. Tony DeLuca has been the most open and honest in this case. She immediately told the police the events that transpired that night. Adrian Vega went for a walk. Tony had nothing to gain from fabricating a story, but Adrian had everything to lose. The defense presses that Adrian Vega is a good kid,
30 seconds.
a bright, promising athlete who would never be involved in a hit-and-run accident. But even good kids make mistakes. A mistake that has cost one of Hidden Valley's most passionate bicyclists his entire career. The prosecution asks that you find Adrian Vega guilty of the felony of hit and run. Thank you.